Hey everyone, welcome back to more Shovel Knight. So we just beat the King Knight and got ourselves the Troop King. So now, let's enter the Specter Knight. We have one potion for invincibility and one potion for full heal. Oof. Oh, dice. It's pronounced nice. Alright. I'll make sure to keep that in mind. Well, anyways, thank you for stopping by, and good night, man. Hope it all goes well. That was not a thing. Alright. There we are. I'm just checking real fast to make sure there's no, like, secrets that I might have missed. Woo. Oh, I took damage when I got that back. The red aura around this concerns me. Ooh. But I do like these little platforms that, like, you can... It, like, uses the main mechanic of bouncing off things in, like, a whole other way by having it be your means to... Like, you could kick it to change how high up you go. The fact that it uses both versions of attacks is a really cool thing that does. There we are. No! Alright, unless there's an enemy to jump off its head. Ah. Okay, just need to jump off its head so I could get up above again. There we are. Oh. Okay, I thought I was going to get some food. Guess not. Have you played Shovel Knight before, or this is your first run? This is my second run, but my first run I did not complete the game, so... Yep, all for a bomb. Alright. Whoop. Whoop. See the skull over there. Whew. I do like how whether or not they have their head, it changes their attack patterns. I think that's a really, like, nice touch. See, if I could just bounce onto this thing's head indefinitely. Yeah, that seems like a lot easier. And you get meat for it. That's great. Oh, this looks so much smoother. So I do have a pretty good computer. Like, basically the computer is the kind that, the fact that I'm playing, like, not high, like, not triple A games is kind of like blasphemy on, but, like, I just like these sort of games more, you know? It probably makes Dark Souls look really good, so that's nice. Alright, so if you bounce off their heads after they wake up. Ooh. There we are. Oh, it's just the difference of skill that you're bringing up. Alright. Whew. But yeah, that's just because, like, this is not my first time playing. I will state that on my first time playing, I had several deaths. Don't you worry about that. You're not alone. But I do come in with a solid strategy, and I enact the strategy. Ooh, wait for the lightning strike. Ooh. There we go. You know, hold up. I need to make sure. I think... Is there a... Alright. Set to default. Okay. I was just going to check if there was a no flashing mode, because I know some people might have some visual issues. I did not see that. Oh, you can kick bombs. Did not know that. Alright. Meat. And a path. One shot. Gotta make sure to make it count. But yeah. Ooh, a high death count at the end of a game is a symbol of perseverance. Exactly. Like, And, like, as long as the game is worth the death count, like, one of the things is... It's just, as long as the deaths feel fair, it feels good. It's always a question of, does the death feel fair? A lot of my issues with Bottomless Pits is just that sometimes it doesn't feel fair when you die to them, you know? Whew. I thought I held right for too long and fell off the cliff. But I was fine. Alright. Whew. It's easy to steamroll through a game. It's also no easy to fail, but to keep at it and prove something to be proud of. Yep. If you're frustrated, they don't always feel fair, but that doesn't mean it's unfair. Yeah. So, it's just... I'm not saying that, like, every time there's Bottomless Pits, it's unfair. I'm just saying that, like, Bottomless Pits are a signal that something could be unfair. If the game is designed around it well, then it's fine, of course. It's just... Not all games are designed around it well. I feel like, at the very least, they could have designed it better here. No. Stay thy fork, knight. I bring gifts for the triple keen. You can't carry anymore. Alright. Well, we have our chalices. Alright. Myself my... Yeah. Alright. There we go. The whole point is to jump over pits. The problem is just, like, the knockback when you get hit by an enemy, plus the fact that pits are insta-death. Like, there's no point in health increases if every pit is an insta-death. That's where my issue comes in. So, like, I'm okay with pits being a challenge. It's the pits are insta-death and other things are not. Like, if the game's balanced around insta-deaths, that's one thing. It's like, it feels like... Oop. But yeah, my weird issue is that it was just like the insta-deaths, plus the fact that the game, you know, it has a health pole. It's not... It's about platforming. It has health bars, and it just like... But then the insta-deaths nullify them, kind of. Alright. Oof. Bottomless Pits keep you from abusing your high health pool? So let me put it this way. If there is a... So, my one death so far, or one of my deaths so far, has been against an enemy that just knocks you, that just hits you, and it hits you right next to a pit, so if you get hit, you fall and die. That felt kind of unfair because my positioning was not... Because of the moving platforms, it was hard to position there. Where you have the high health pool, if it's about tanking and that's the abuse, there aren't Bottomless Pits in boss fights. So, I'm going to have to disagree there. Basically because there are no Bottomless Pits in boss fights that are used as abuse. Maybe there are later on, I did not see them, I did not stay long enough. But at the very least, there are multiple bosses that I faced that do not have Bottomless Pits. So, yeah, I do think the mobile health helps you with those frogs. I just wish that the pits, they dealt damage to you and spawned you back up, instead of just outright killing you. That's what I feel like. There will be Bottomless Pits at boss fights, alright. I still stand by it should be dealing, like, I'm okay with it dealing significant damage. I'm okay with it taking out, like, 3 bars. Like, being 6 times as much as these frogs. But I want to not die instantly. That's my main theme. Alright, Phase Lock. One of the greatest ones. So this is just basically iframes, the spell. So, if you're okay expending your magic, this theme will just win you encounters, basically. Yeah, this one's... I will say, iframe, this one is kind of cheap. In my mind, at least. Ooh. Ooh. What if it just dropped you to basically 1 HP? Like, as I said, I'm okay with them being punishing. It depends on, like, if it drops me to basically 1 HP no matter how much health I have, that feels a little, like, I feel like it should be either percentage-based. Like, I'm okay with it being a lot of damage, as I said. I'm okay with it being a lot of damage. I'm not okay with it just being, the problem with insta-kill is it means, like, you don't have the chance. Like, you make one mistake, and you have to reset. Where with, damage, you make one mistake, and you have to, like, worry about it. But you don't have to reset all the way. So, that's just basically my theme. Like, we are able to upgrade our health to make sure we can survive dangerous threats. But it's like, no matter how much we upgrade, we cannot deal with a dangerous threat that is Bottomless Pits. And that's what feels weird to me. I mean, they threw away the life and continue system. I guess there is a point there. But Bottomless Pits always insta-kill, so they do the same as Dark Souls. But again, is Dark Souls a platformer? I would say that Dark Souls isn't a platformer, and it plays differently in that as well. Like, yes, there are Bottomless Pits in Dark Souls. Well, let's start with this. In the Dark Souls design, gain one-shot is not too shocking. Gain one-shot in Dark Souls is the Dark Souls experience, that you see an enemy, ooh, I wonder what this does, and then just, like, balls your face in. Like, that's part of the Dark Souls experience in a way that it's not part of the Shovel Knight experience. At least the way I understand it. Maybe the Shovel Knight experience is more intense than I thought, but... yeah. Like, I'm okay being wrong. I will state that there is a possibility that I am wrong. I'm okay accepting that. Just, like, it still feels bad, at least in my mind, to have those Bottomless Pits the way they do. Alright. Ooh. This game is the NES platformer experience. Fair. But, like, one of the things is, like, you have better control of your character. It's taking out the unnecessary abuses that existed in the NES platformer experience. And I just feel like leaving in Bottomless Pits was not what they should. I just feel like that was a bad decision. And, like, again, I'm okay with people disagreeing. Like, I could be wrong. There are very good reasons to disagree with my opinions here. I don't like Bottomless Pits being one-hit kills. Okay. Ah. There we go. Alright. Whew. This game is the ending. Yeah. I mean, you're completely right to dislike it. I just wouldn't call it unfair. I believe there is an armor in this game that helps you with Bottomless Pits by catapulting out of them in exchange for health. I'm not sure, though. If there is, then, like... that does change things. I'm not going to deny that. But it's like... I'm okay with, like, if Bottomless Pits feel unfair, because then they have, a upgrade that makes it feel, like, fair but challenging. It's just I haven't seen that, is my main theme. This is no place for the living, mortal. You shall be summoned when it is your time. And everyone has a time, as we saw with your beloved Shield Knight. Yeah, this is definitely one of the coolest knights I've seen so far. Lies! I won't believe such talk from phantoms. Your very existence is a vile deception. The Enchantress is just full of surprises. She granted me new life, so that I may take yours. Alright. Alright. Ah. Let's try and find that one. Ooh. Ooh, that destroys my projectiles. Good to know. He's just a little too far away, so... Woo. Don't throw it again. Or not. Ah. Ooh. Just like finding what places are safe and which aren't. Adapting accordingly. Alright, I do have that Triple Knight ability, which is... Honestly, that Triple Knight's theme to, like, heal back is a little strong, but oh well. Oh, do I have to... Oh. Oh. Don't like that. Might not even need the Triple Knight, though. I think they're low enough on health. Oop. Oop. Go. Whew. Ooh, a new achievement. Huh. Interesting. Alright, thank you for stopping by, V-Man Streams. Have a nice day. Thank you for coming by. Alright. I think Bottomless Pits are an integral part of 2D platformers. They're maybe not needed in every single one, but they provide a good challenge. I think that, like, pits are definitely a good one. It's the bottomless it's the fact that one-shots you that's feels weird to me. Oh. Let's grab that. There we go. There we go. Whew. Yeah. They can be implemented badly. I just don't think this game did. Alright. Fair enough. Fair enough. Ooh, I got a meal ticket just for that. Awesome. There's a more problem later stages where you don't know if you could drop somewhere safely or if it's a bottomless pit. Yeah, that's definitely the big problem that you want to avoid. But, and I will state that, like, the bottomless pits in this game are not as abusive or problematic as other stages. I'm going to definitely accept, like, I'll definitely agree with that. But, like, the fact that it's not as bad doesn't mean it's good in my mind, is my main thing. I will definitely state that I have played some older games, and the bottomless pits here are far more acceptable amongst them. Like, comparatively. Alright. Oh! Ooh. Come on. Move, 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 move! Well, I guess we're this path. Ooh! There we go. Awesome. Got a lot of gold that we could spend. They're definitely a different kind of challenge than enemy encounters. I just feel like... I feel like there is better way... Like, as I said, I'm okay with it being a different challenge, but it's a difference of... Like, if you make a mistake against an enemy, it hurts, and if you make too many mistakes, you get killed. You make one mistake with a pit, and it's gone. That's GG. And that's my big issue. Alright. The Dance Macabre. Dead crowd tonight, says I. Lesson learned. Never crack jokes at a graveyard. Never. Alright. It's like, I recognize the importance of mastering movement and mastering options. It's one of those things of, like, how early do they expect the mastering? Sorry about that. Had a sneeze. But it's like, Bottomless Pits are the kind of mastery that is expected of you the first moment you play it. Like, it expects mastery at level 1 is one of the things that makes it weird. Alright. Well, we have Whale Blubber. And we have Shrapnel Jaw Dish, I guess. The first level didn't have too many pits, and they were close to a checkpoint. I will accept that. I will accept that. So I will agree that they're designed better than other Bottomless Pits. I feel like a lot of the challenge that people look for can be designed without the need of Bottomless Pits. That's my argument. And again, people can disagree. I think the Bottomless Pits, like, obviously dealing damage is fine. In Celeste, everything one-shots you, so those are Bottomless Pits that I can accept. But I just feel like when you have this health bar that you're constantly improving, and, you know, and the first level, you could just die randomly because you got hit, it knocked you back, and the knockback brought you to a pit, and then you're gone. That's where my questioning comes from. I think surviving a Bottomless Pit lowers the difficulty too much. I will say if it deals as much damage as enemies, where it's just like half a pip of health, then it definitely lowers the difficulty too much. But I want to note, like, this is more than just a platformer. This is an action game. It's both at once. There's bosses need to be a difficult aspect as well. I will definitely agree that having they did away with the life system and went with a checkpoint system. So, having a checkpoint right in front of the boss is definitely, and no lives, is definitely a big thing that makes this game easier. But, yeah. I think I will agree that this does Bottomless Pits better than I've seen other games do it. But I still have some issues with it. But I'm willing to accept that like Bottomless Pits have a place in this game, definitely. You defeated Specter Knight! Now behold my greatest treasure! Dance! Here. And money. Oh, so you could just turn it back on anytime. I thought they were going to say something different. Alright. Example, a lot of stages in Mario Sunshine hadn't had Bottomless Pits. You just dropped into the water and then swim back to the shore and climb back up. A quick death and retry would have been better to you. Oh, Unicorn Storm? I play a lot of Rogue Legacy 2 on this channel, so that's why he was comparing it to. It's also an action platformer, but it has a higher emphasis on action. So it does have spikes, which deal damage, but they don't have Bottomless Pits. So that's why it was a reference. Want more use out of your relics? Oh yes, of course. I can increase your magic. Alright, just want to check how much it is, because I'm about to get 500 more gold. But I have nothing I can buy with that additional 500 gold. So I'm going to wait for, yeah, I'm going to wait till I get more money to actually pick that up. Alright. Well, oh, one more thing. Force the phasing. So every once in a while they have these challenge rooms to give you more money, but, yeah. Yikes, spikes! If only I could phase away to safety, I could cross and get so much treasure. So this is where you do have, these are all one-shot kills, but if you could time it right and actually abuse the iframes, you could get all the money. So these ones, the important aspect of these, why I feel they're okay, is because it's completely optional. This is not part of a stage to, like, there's no stage that says, like, if you can't beat this, you don't beat this. Like, there's no, Spike Knight that, if I can't kill this, I can't move forward sort of theme. It's just a extra money stage. And that difference is significant, I feel. Alright. Whew. To hurt my own argument, I quite like that in Psychonauts. Psychonaut 2, you don't instantly die when falling into a pit. Yeah, you get 2 shots, basically. Like, still, it's limited. I'm okay with pits being dangerous. It's the one shot. Like, it's the fact that it's one shot in a game that doesn't have one shots in any other aspect. It's the combination of the game's designed in such a way that other mechanics can't one-shot you, and yet this one has to. Ooh. You get a million shots. Oh, it just knocks you back? Yeah, so I will state, if it is too easy, then it's not a pit at all. It's not a challenge. But if it's, you know, if you one-shot, it's the problem is, it's like, you could either insta-kill or you could have no effect, and there's a lot of ground in between that. We literally have a health bar in this game for the middle ground in between that. And the fact that that's not used is what feels weird. Alright. So, I think that's basically what I was trying to say. I'm sure I could go into detail more. I'm sure, like, every game uses it differently. Again, if a game has one-shot kills, and, like, the game's designed around that, then one-shot bottomless pit kills makes a bit more sense. That sort of stuff. This game doesn't have that, and yet it has bottomless pits. That's where my issue came in. I think that explains enough of what I was trying to say. Enemies tend to be aggressive and charging, while pit is stationary, so you get more leeway in combat. Yes, but it's still, like, they can be aggressive, but there's, like, they only deal, what is it, I have 8 pips of health, and the most I've seen them deal in damage is, like, 1 full pip. It's, like, if it's a third as difficult, and deals 3 times as much damage, or 6 times, even if it deals 6 times as much damage, I'm good with that, but they combine pits with the enemies, is the additional effect. If it was just platforming, if it was just Celeste-style platforming, that's one thing. It's that they add the enemies, that they had a bunch of things you have to consider, and if you lose track of this for a moment, you're dead. That is my big theme. So is Mario better because it only has maximum 2 hit points? It's closer, so Mario, I would say it's closer to balance because it has maximum 2 hit points. I'm not saying like it's better, I'm saying that Bottomless Pits makes more sense there because the difference of dying, you're only 2 hits away from death. That being said, Mario is much more deeply a platformer. You can just jump over enemies. You have a lot more mobility to just jump over enemies and avoid things, and there's a lot more control. Like, it's the momentum effect. The fact that Shovel Knight moves so slowly means that it's harder to maneuver. And the harder it is to maneuver, the more dangerous pits are going to be. Mario has a lot more maneuverability, and as you said, it only has 2 hit points. This makes it so that a bottomless pit is far, like, less devastating, and it also makes it so that, and really it's the maneuverability that makes Mario better for bottomless pits. Really, that's the thing. It's focused, Mario is focused heavily on the platformer, where Shovel Knight, the bosses, the long stages with fights, this is, I would say, is more of an action game than a platformer, by a long shot. To the point where I would declare this, if I had to decide, I would declare this an action game over a platformer, but it definitely has, I will admit, it has platforming elements. I think if you want to say action platformer is a perfectly fine description, but at least comparative to others, this is definitely far more of an action game than a platforming game. Platforming games, where you have very low health, and there's bottomless pits, makes sense, because everything's balanced around, like, in Mario, as you said, like, you only have a maximum of 2 hit points. Having it deal 2 damage is not a significant increase from others, versus having it deal, instead of 1 damage, it deals 16 every time, and then you get a health buff, and now it deals 18, and it just always one-shots. That's what makes it weird. It's just, that is the effect that makes Bottomless Pits weird to me. Obviously, there's room for debate, there's room for discussion, every game has something different to it, so I'm not going to deny that there are games that can do it better with a difference in health. I'm sure Dark Souls is like that. Dark Souls, the bottomless pits are there, but the thing is, it's not a platformer. You will walk through short bridges, but you'll never, like, be expected to jump over a pit, as far as I'm going to guess that. I have not played through it yet, but I'm going to guess that, and every time you fight an enemy near a bottomless pit, you can usually use the bottomless pit yourself. So, it's like, it's the dynamics that those have. So like Dark Souls, it's definitely unfair when you compare damage outputs, but then you realize there's a lot more dynamics in Dark Souls, and being brutal is like part of its core design gameplay. Shovel Knight, it feel like one of the big thieves is they're taking away the needless brutality of its old games. And I just felt like Bottomless Pits was a needless brutality that they could have taken advantage of. Bottomless Pits to your advantage. Most enemies here take at most 2 hits to kill, and then you don't get the gold. So I will disagree with you. I do like the argument. I do like you justified it. I will simply disagree. I apologize. If there's an enemy that takes a ton of hits, I could still be knocked. Every enemy that can take a lot of hits in this so far has been stationary. Even when you hit it, it moves freely, and there's not a bottomless pit for you to throw it into. Most enemies die in 1 hit, some die in 2. Alright, yeah, no need to apologize. I just want to make sure that you understand I'm not trying to challenge you or be like aggressive. I just want to make sure this is supposed to be a conversation. The apology is because I'm just kind of dismissing it without going deeper, because I felt like I've gone deeper in so many different ways. That's where the apology comes in. Alright, well, I'm going to go into the Plague Knight next. Everyone on YouTube, thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you next time. Thank you so much.